Hey everybody, it's me, it's your old pal, the original gamer StevieStrow, and we are back for another exciting video game showcase. Are you ready? Let's do it! What is going on, everybody? We are back for another exciting video game showcase for the Radio Shack TRS-80 color computer, also known as the Coco. This game from 1983 is called Desert Patrol, and it is a clone of a popular arcade game that was known as Moon Patrol. Let's go ahead and try this thing on easy and see what it's all about. Okay, so Moon Patrol was a pretty cool game where you shot in two different directions. You can also modify your speed by moving your joystick left or right. So as you move to the right, you're making your vehicle drive faster. If you pull back to the left, you can slow down. So you can help use this to kind of manipulate the things above you. You also have to jump over obstacles. So you will occasionally see like a hole in the ground you have to jump over, and you will occasionally see like a boulder you have to jump over or shoot as well. What I'm seeing here so far is a pretty close replication of, and see, this is where moving left and right can steer those bombs that are falling down on you. It's a pretty close replication of the behavior of the bad guys in the sky that the arcade has, but there's a really important element that is missing, and that's the backgrounds. And so in the arcade, Moon Patrol had basically a multi-layer background of mountains and scenery and planets and like cities and all kinds of stuff. So the background in Moon Patrol was really cool, and music as well. Moon Patrol had some pretty good music. It was like so Moon Patrol had a cool theme song going on for it and really good background music. There is another version of Moon Patrol, another clone, that actually does have the background, and it's a different color palette. It's using actually the green color palette, the green background, but it did do a really good job of like multi-layer scrolling in the background and a little bit more diversity in the scenery. So what I'm seeing here is the ground is pretty flat and it hasn't really changed. Now, granted, I did start on a low difficulty level, so I don't know if the higher difficulty levels change things. But extra ship, what do you think of that, huh? That is pretty smacktastic, Pimp Daddy right there. One of the things the arcade game did too, and some of the clones that were a little bit more faithful and accurate, was you had kind of like landmarks or checkpoints you had to reach, which were like letters of the alphabet. You made it to section A, section B, section C. Every third or fourth section would change to a whole new part of scenery and stuff like that. And you saw like little landmarks, like that grid on the bottom. That red line, the only thing I can imagine that red line is showing me is how much further I have to go. Honestly, I'm not sure what that red line is showing me. But in the arcade and some of the other versions, you had like a little graph that showed you how far you were going to your next checkpoint, etc., etc. So this one's really confusing me as far as what that red line means. And this one's also not really changing the variation of the ground or the elevation of the ground. There were times when you were going uphill and downhill and you got really low. There were times where you had small holes and like larger holes to jump, and boulders you had to either shoot or jump over. I'm not seeing a lot of diversity in the landscape here, and I don't know if that's just the way they made the game or if it's because I started on a wimpy difficulty level. So what I'll do is, one more time, just out of curiosity, when I get killed here, I will start this game one more time on like a medium difficulty and see if that changes anything in the game or if it's still the same but just harder to play. So if I had to give this a grade, and I had to use the public school systems, and if I had to say this is an A, B, C, D, or F, I would give this, I would say, a C, maybe C+. I wouldn't rate this as a B title. I would say it captures the essence of the game. It does decent animation, pretty good scrolling, because the amount of scrolling is actually pretty small. And again, programmers got really creative on how they could do things and create these different illusions and effects for us. So the scrolling that's actually taking place right now is only probably 3 or 4 pixels high. The white lines above the red ground is all that's being scrolled, because the rest of it's solid red. That doesn't even need to scroll. So they didn't have to scroll too much. So they're able to give it a good illusion of speed and movement. The rotating tires look really good. And again, what they did is they called it Desert Patrol. So I guess you're supposed to be in the desert. You're not on the moon. However, even in the deserts, there's got to be other things. And if nothing else, they should have thrown some cactuses out here or something. And Lord knows what these things are in the sky, because they still look like the spaceships from Moon Patrol. I don't remember seeing too many flying objects in the desert that drop bombs on you randomly. So I don't know what the heck is going on with there. But I'm shooting. I'm jumping. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and die right now. The explosions are halfway decent. I'm going to pull back. I'm trying to slow down. I'm trying to steer into a bullet right now. Okay, come on. I just want to end this misery right now, please. Okay, the explosions are halfway decent. So let's do this, and let's try it one more time on a slightly different difficulty level. And matter of fact, if 5 is hard, let's just do 5. Let's go all the way for broke. What I'm seeing is a lot more guys on the screen, but again, I'm not seeing too much diversity in the landmarks. So I don't think the difficulty changed the playing field. So when it comes to that, when it comes to environment and scenery and landscape, that's why I'm giving this game a lower rating. That they really did next to nothing to add environment. They gave you the essence of the game, so I definitely give them credit and points for that, but they left a lot out. Now, it's easy for me to say because I didn't have to program this. There's no way I could have done that, but I am not rating this game based on what my own abilities are. I'm just rating it on what the people who made it did, based on other games that were made for this computer that were much more faithful and accurate. So there you have it. This was it. This was Desert Patrol. Okay, here's one of the rocks. Okay, I just jumped over the rock. Okay, so level 5 did introduce a little bit more scenery, the rocks there. But Desert Patrol, not a bad game. Not terrible, not the best game in the world, but not the worst game either. Thank you so much for watching. I am the original gamer, StevieStrow. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, how about smash that like button, give it a big fat thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you got something to say, throw out a comment. Tell me what you thought. Tell me what you'd like to see next. And I'd really love it if you could share this video and share my channel with your friends and help me grow. Thank you so much. I will see you all next time. Peace out and bye-bye, everybody.